Got someone already ready, good to go. Awesome. Good to see that I have everything, I think, in place. Okay, bag 4. And if you're just joining, this is a live stream. We're called Brick Therapy. Usually live stream with my son. He will join me on the weekends. And so trying to get a mid-size build done in probably like 5 live streams. But this is a good size set for that kind of purpose. Only 558 pieces. Set 75396. The Lego Star Wars Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit. I've said it 1,000 times, I feel like, and I still need to remember it. But as we wait to see who joins the live stream, we'll just do kind of a repeat overview of all that's involved. We've got one of the favorites of mine characters from Star Wars. We got Lando Calrissian, in his bounty hunter disguised outfit. We've got Jedi Luke with his farm boy hair, and probably the coolest minifig in this set, a good rendition of Boba Fett. Standing on the edge, risking it all. Standing on the edge of the Sarlacc Pit. Hey, Jirafi. Psh, good to see you again. Glad you're here in the live stream. So, opening bag 4. This is a 6-bag set based on that scene in Return of the Jedi. I don't know if they've done a set like this before, but as I've been saying, going through all these kind of mid-size scale play sets for Star Wars. In terms of Lego collecting, it's just fun to have these sets. You get the older minifigs, and if you weren't around to start collecting Star Wars in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, well then, these have been a good opportunity to collect these sets. And so here was the one I built last time. Oh my gosh, everything's falling down. Was Boba Fett's throne room. But again, you get another Boba Fett in this one. Boba Fett literally on his throne, taking over from Jabba the Hutt's pit. And then you get some of the older characters as well from Return of the Jedi. So, in effect, 2 Return of the Jedi sets. And very cool to have these in our collection since these are more recent sets. Although all the ones in front these are newer, but are also already retired. And then this one I think is retiring. It is retiring this year. So glad to take advantage of that. Drawfee, welcome. Oh, you said something, Drawfee. I'm about to read it, but it's okay. It looked like you said you just finished a test or something. So good job, man. All right, bag 4. Opening bag 4. Thank you for the likes. Awesome. And whoops. Good thing about Lego is it likes to launch out onto the floor if you're not careful. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it definitely keeps you alert. So it looks like we are building our next minifigure in this set, being Han Solo after being defrosted, right, from the carbonite, and this is the defrosted Han Solo, the one about to be rescued from the Sarlacc Pit. So always memorable scenes from Star Wars growing up as a kid. Actually, you know what? I think the only movies I saw, or of the original trilogy, the only movies I actually saw in the theater was Star Wars. And then they re-released it. I remember. Must have been, what, a 20-year... Yeah, probably was a 20-year anniversary of Star Wars. And they re-released that, or those movies. I think they've done it maybe a few times. They re-released those movies in the theaters in the late 90s. So got to see one of those again in the theaters. Just good stuff. Drawfee says, I haven't been at a live stream because I have cross-country practice and I am at the advanced math class. Lots of homework. I hear you, Jirafi. Way to go, though. Psh, good job on all that hard work. Meta's here. Psh, yo, he says. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. Thanks for leaving the likes as you join in. Lieutenant Shorty. Psh, Good to see you as well. All right. So building up bag 4 here of the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit and throwing together Han Solo. The one, and oh, these are cool. I didn't realize all these minifigs have two faces, two facial expressions on either side. So there's Han Solo, complete with handcuffs for, of course, to set the stage for him still under Jabba's custody, I guess you could say. And as some of you have pointed out, as I started building this set, so this is like a companion set to the UCS set, right? Jabba's barge, which looks pretty sweet. Looks like a very cool UCS set. I think it's in the $500 range, and it's fun to see all these Star Wars UCS sets built up. The one that has actually tempted me to actually get, of course, is the Millennium Falcon. So we'll see if that leads to any future UCS sets. If I get that one, it will, kind of open the door to get other UCS sets. But there's Han. So a good collection of minifigures for this set, I must say. At the $80 price range, not so great. But the getting this at the $55 discount price, which it has been lately, has been pretty good. And if you're more into insider points, actually double insider points if you get this set on Lego. I think it's still on sale. Let me confirm that. But yeah, if you get it on Lego, then you get the double insider points. So still on sale, $63.99, and of course double insider points until next Monday, I think. So some good things to take advantage of. Lieutenant Shorty's here, Giraffe's here, Meta's here. Isaiah Soccer is back. Psh, awesome. Good to see you guys. And Giraffe opened up the live stream with the first hello. Good to see you guys all here. And Meta, of course. So I don't know if the Lego news has been good with all these expensive sets coming out, or overpriced sets or expensive sets. The UCS Death Star being one to criticize, but then maybe also rave at. It definitely did well in its release. But there's a very confusing or perplexing, maybe perplexing is a better word. Did you guys happen to notice that Lego is releasing or just announced the release of an aquarium set? Now, I know they did an aquarium set before, a 3-in-1 aquarium set. But this one is kind of, I guess, kind of like in the range of, or in that realm of, gosh, that's a really expensive set in the scale and size. Did anybody want that? The Tropical Aquarium, not yet released, for $479. So I'm just curious, like when the sets become that much, like, does it include something special that you'd want? I guess there's kind of a light up brick, and some of the fish builds look cool. It's got to be a big scale set. I guess it's kind of the equivalent of maybe a botanical garden too, in a way, with all the underwater sea plants. But it's definitely a bulky set. And it's, a theme. It's not based on any real theme. It's kind of, a real life build. Who wants a $480 Lego aquarium set? Just curious. What's that about? So that to me is kind of like the, when you go back to the holiday sets or the Christmas sets, there's this Christmas tree set. That's a diorama. At least this one comes with family Christmas tree is what it's called. That one's also in the $330 range. I don't know if I'm going to spend that much money on Lego. I'm getting a Bardor or a Rivendell or a Captain Jack Sparrow Black Pearl ship. But I don't know. I'll see how well that set does. But gosh, almost $500. You're halfway to getting the UCS Death Star at that point. So just interesting to see. Nosy, the Killer Rabbit, welcome. Psh, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Glad to have you guys here. Isaiah Soccer's here, of course. Just joined and signed in. Nosy says, I want horror Lego sets. I would buy the Arkham Asylum. Yes, the Arkham Asylum does look cool, especially if you're into DC sets, because you pretty much get all the what would you call them? The Nemesis plural of Batman, right? So that set does look cool again. And then for this like crazy aquarium set that's come out for $500, there's so many other sets I'd want to spend money on versus a giant aquarium build. I guess we'll see how that goes. My biggest sets are Diagon Alley and Rivendell. Very cool, Giraffe. Diagon Alley, that was on discount about a month ago. That was a tempting one to get. That had been out for so long. That's kind of one of those sets. I know it's specific to Harry Potter, but that's like you can get a whole modular village, kind of a Lego city build, one street, one main street worth of builds, all in one. So very cool. Arkham Asylum is a good set, says Nosy. I agree. It does look cool. I don't know if I would get it, but yeah, if you're into the theme of like the darker side, especially of these superheroes and their backstories, that might be a cool set if you have the I know it's the different comic universe, but if you have the Bleecker Street, Doctor Strange's house, I can't think of the name, but those next to each other in a Lego city, that would be a fun setup, a fun display. Isn't Arkham Asylum almost that price? Yeah, the $500 range. I don't think it's as much. Let me look. That's a good question, but yeah, I was kind of like others going, what is this aquarium set all about? $500. No, it's a lot better price, $300. So you could get the Arkham Asylum and still have another $150 or so for another, decent size set. You could get the 3-in-1 Castle. You could get probably another. Actually, you get the Spider-Man versus Oscorp build. That's $140. So you could do a lot of good combos instead of that aquarium. I don't get that build. Hey guys, thanks for the 10 likes already. Awesome. That's a pleasant surprise. Arkham is $300. Yep, Giraffe confirms it. What do you think of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory set? Giraffe asked. I think that's a good set. I like the build. I like the fact that it's related to the older version of the Charlie and Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, the guy who played oh my gosh, the main character, Willy Wonka, the guy who played Willy Wonka. So I like that. I like that build. It's pretty good. Obviously good minifigures. It's got the Oompa Loompas and everything. What was the price on that one though? These kind of movie themed sets are okay, $220. Okay, that seems decent. I mean, the Simpsons set that came out's about the same price, right? The Krusty Burger. So those kind of specific theme based on a movie or TV show ones, if they're around the $200 range, that seems okay. I don't know if I get it, but I don't know. It's worth considering. If you're a movie fan, that's a pretty fun looking set. That aquarium set though, for almost $500, $480 set. I don't know. I'd rather just have a real aquarium, to be honest. Hennessy, good to see you back. Welcome. Nosy says, yes, but I'm sad. No Red Hood. Okay, so there's one possible missing minifig character from all that. The Jaws set is epic. I forgot about that one. That is a good one too. That's been out for a while. I don't think that one's retiring, so you might, if you need to wait on that one, that's a pretty good set. One with a stud. One with a stud says, "Do you have a Lego channel?" Oh, one with a stud. You must be talking to someone else. But hey, one with a stud. How are you doing? Good to see you back. Breezy Builds. Hello. Welcome, you guys. Talking about some interesting sets as I attempt to build in case you were wondering, I am kind of building also. 75396, the Desert Skiff and Starlight Pit. Kind of got on a Star Wars run of builds as I was looking at the UCS Death Star and building up to that. And then if you're new to the channel, this was my claim to the Death Star. I have a 10% version of the Death Star, whoops, in this trash compactor diorama set that came out a little while ago. But you get a lot of the good core characters from Star Wars there, including the droids in the back. So just talking through various Lego sets and kind of reacting to high price sets that you wonder who is out there to buy it. This aquarium set for $480. I don't know. And then Nosy brought up a good point. You know, well, how much is the Arkham Asylum set? That's a pretty cool set. You get a ton of minifigures. And that's it, Nosy. Yes, the Secret Sanctum Sanctorum. I think those two builds next to each other would be pretty cool in a Lego city. I know they're from different comic universes, but I don't know. That would be cool. It's kind of like my Barador build back here. I would love to have the Captain Jack pirate ship or the Black Pearl next to this one. I know it's just a color combo of all the dark black Lego. Looks so cool. So yeah. Breezy Build says, hello everyone. Did I miss? Oh, Ivan's here too. Psh, Ivan, good to see you. I would love to do the sitcom tower build, says Breezy Builds. The sitcom tower build. Which one is that one? You'll have to give me the Lego set number. I'm not sure if I know that one. Yes, Breezy Builds, exactly. One with a stud. The Death Star. The Death Star, exactly. Hopefully no one went into debt buying that thing. You know, $1,000. I was pointing out though, since it is double insider points, maybe if you bought it now anyway, not when it was released, at least if you buy it now, you get a double insider points. So like 13,000 insider points, which is like $100 towards your next Lego set. So that is pretty good. You don't get the gift with purchase anymore, but the gift with purchase was definitely mediocre to compliment it. And it's crazy because that set came out, the gift with purchase Lego values at $30, which seems like a build you could pretty much part together yourself. I don't think there are any real exclusive pieces in it. But maybe because, of course, it is a set that Lego released and has its own packaging and everything, people are selling that darn thing on eBay for $100. $100 for a very mediocre TIE fighter. I'd rather just get a regular TIE fighter set and maybe mod it a little bit so it could fit in the set itself. But yeah, good call. One with a stud, the Death Star. I do think it's a decent set upon looking at it. I did put not a poll, but just a post on it. You know, upon further review, kind of like borrowing a phrase from football, it does seem like it has some definite good qualities to it. And those who have built it said it's pretty good. It's just not the set we all pictured from the beginning when it was mentioned. Jake Stop Motion, hello. Psh, good to see you. Drawfee says, you could get the Daily Bugle, Barador, Lions Night Castle, Natural History Museum, or even $40 battle packs instead of the aquarium. Is that true? Does that all amount to the same price? You could get the Daily Bugle and another set. Barador would pretty much match the price. So you could just get Barador. You could get the Lion Knight's Castle and another set. The Natural History Museum, that's a good one. Yeah, there's just so much. If you got $500 to spend on Lego, please tell me you get something other than the aquarium. Now, if you love that style of Lego, of course, more power to you. That's the thing. Oh, one with the stud says Death Star. He coins the term, but then says he wants the set. I get you, one with the stud. You know, patience will pay. I'm thinking at some point. Well, hopefully a couple things, right? Hopefully that set becomes popular, becomes popular enough that it'll stay in circulation for a few years, like the UCS Millennium Falcon, which has been in circulation for, 8 years now. And then maybe you can get that set, or for sure you can get that set used for a lot less. I know it's not the same as, you know, buying it new, but I'm pretty confident you could get a better price on that set if it stays out there for a couple years through BrickLink. Yeah, probably definitely not a set you could part out and try to get on your own, but that's my thinking on it. Nosy says the Jaws set is 150. Again, a good build, very cool build, very good display build, right? And nowhere near the $470. Breezy Build says one with a stud, hilarious, Death Star. Oh yeah, I read that part. So what was the other thing on all these crazy price ranges? Oh yeah, like so with the UCS set, although I might have mentioned this already, any UCS set right now, if you're planning to buy one, you are getting anywhere from $100 to like $50 in Lego points. So that is a ton. So if you do plan to get something, take advantage of the double insider points. That'd be really the only time. I try to keep them. Keep the same plan myself. The only time I buy like the large scale Lego sets is when there's double insider points and a gift with purchase, because you definitely want to get more for your money. So yeah. Django Fed 2025. Psh, welcome. Martha, welcome. Psh, good to see you guys. Thank you for joining the live stream. And leave a like and join in the chat. We're talking about all kinds of Lego. I'm trying to keep up with everything because I think I might have missed someone signing in here. Nosy says, one thing I've learned, if you don't draw first, you don't get the draw at all. Do you know what game that's from? Oh, interesting quote. I do not know. Good to see you guys. I'm going to start in December when I have the Avengers Tower, says Jake Stop Motion. Very cool. Yes, like the live and sub to the channel. Thank you, Jake Stop Motion. I'm going to pin that. Awesome. Yes, it's so hard to think about the price of all these sets, especially the ones the you know, the larger, like the Rivendell's, the Barad-dûrs, the UCS sets. At least the Arkham Asylum, I've forgotten about that one. That is a really good set that Nosy brings up, and you know that price is still pretty high, but $300 compared to some of the other sets, it looks like a good looks like a good deal. You get, what is it? Oh my god, I'm gonna click on it more. I was gonna say, how many minifigures did you get with that set? 16 minifigures for a $300 set. That is really, that's a deal actually. I mean, for me, buying these larger sets and getting minifigures is kind of, they go hand in hand. Like the Avengers Tower, that would be another one. You know, close to the same price range. $499 versus that $480 aquarium, and 31 minifigures. 31 minifigures. Again, a set. If you said to your, you know, you've been saving up, you're like, what set could I get that could pretty much cover the entire MCU, all the minifigures in one? You know, then the Avengers Tower would be the way to go for me. Mayo is in. Psh, welcome, Mayo, to the live stream. Good to see you. Good to see you, Django Fett. One with a stud says, I need that hot tub stormtrooper. Oh, I know. There's always one with a stud. There's always like a couple of features. Like, for example, there's always a couple features on a Lego build that, you know, a high price Lego build that you're like, you see that minifigure and you're like, I gotta have that set. And then the minifigure draws you in, like the 3-in-1 castle that came out in August. We have an older castle set from the original castle series, so like 1980s. And this king, I wanted a minifig king to go with all our castle sets. This guy convinced me to get this 3-in-1 castle build that's kind of needs to be reconfigured, but there it is. So yeah, minifigures definitely, for me, I don't know about everybody, but it definitely helps sell a very expensive Lego set. I mean, you know, if you can show off minifigures, of course, like for Barad-dûr. Who does not want this guy right here, right? These Saruman and the Mouth of Sauron, or not Saruman, Sauron and the Mouth of Sauron minifigures. They just sell, they help sell the build. And I know that's a lot of money to spend on a minifigure, but it's like they go hand in hand. So there it is. Love all these sets. Jirafi says, I might get the Sherlock Holmes set and make it into a modular style building. Oh, one of the bookend sets, Jirafi. That one actually turned out really well. That is a lot better looking set than way better looking set than the, what was the Lord of the Rings, the Balrog set that came out. The equivalent style of set for Lord of the Rings. That Balrog set, like, what is that? $140 or something like that. You get one minifigure, Gandalf, which already has been included in Rivendell. So it's like, I don't know. I know if you are trying to build up a theme in your collection of having all the sets, then perhaps it's something worth considering. I would hope that set would go on sale, though. We'll see what happens when Black Friday rolls along. What kind of sets will go on sale during that time. But it's hard to predict. I would think a lot of those sets that aren't selling very well will go on sale. So maybe that one. But yeah, that's a good idea to mod that Sherlock Holmes bookend set. Mayo says, long time no see, Ivan. Jirafi says, do you have any modulars? Yes, Jirafi, I am planning to build one of those next. Since I build a lot of these mid-size scale sets, I'm thinking we got the Tudor Corner set at the start of the year. I have that and one other. So I will, I'll probably break that out maybe over the weekend. My son's going to join me. Little Brick Therapy is going to join me. And maybe we'll do one of the modulars. We can split up the build again like we did over the summer with these larger sets from Lord of the Rings. So if you see the Brick Therapy sig fig or build, somewhere on your screen, click the like and subscribe. Join our Lego community. As you can see, we connect with a lot of other Lego channels here, and it's good to see all you guys. So we collab through our live streams, basically. Not on the same live stream, but we all mention each other. So it's really cool to have all you guys. Jirafi says, I hope they make more book nooks with a street style like the Sherlock Holmes one. Yeah, I guess it depends on how well they go over, Jirafi. Let's see how well they sell. I think the Sherlock Holmes one looks really well. And they do another one with the, I want to say with the Wicked theme, but maybe I'm wrong. Jake Stop Motion says, where is Matt is alive? He showed up yesterday. He's usually here. He usually pops on. So we'll see. I haven't been consistent with the time that I've live streamed, so maybe that's the problem. One with the Stud says, gotta head to bed. All right. One with the Stud, thanks for joining the chat. Love it. I will catch those streams then. Yes, Jirafi, very cool. Mayo says, I guarantee if the book nooks weren't trendy on TikTok, Lego wouldn't be making book nook end sets. Ah, okay. I am not on TikTok, so I didn't know that. That is good to know. So it sounds like then you have it. There is potential to get more of those. I wonder if they'll all be totally different themes, or if they'll add on to the Sherlock Holmes one, or what they're gonna do. Ivan, good to see you. Thanks for joining as well. Jake Stop Motion says, thanks for the sub. Awesome, you guys. Glad to see you're connecting with each other. Mayo says, I'm not on TikTok either. I just know the stuff that happens there. Yes, TikTok is I don't know. I'm surprised that it's lasted as long as it has. It's been, well, maybe because it definitely appeals to like shorter posts and everything like that. But yeah, I know it probably would help, some YouTubers and their channels and getting more FaceTime out there, like more publicity, I guess, basically for your channel. But I don't know. That is one version of social media I just want to stay clear from. I don't want my kids on it. And, you know, some people are okay with it. So I think probably that's what the anecdote on YouTube was, the YouTube shorts, right? To kind of match that style of short recording and then edit it. But I think you guys should join on live streams. This is great because we want more long form type of material or just time to talk. Join a chat for a minute or a few minutes or even the whole live stream. And it's just great to have you guys on here and join in your other live streams as well and talk all things Lego. And I don't know, Mayo, if you were here when initially brought up the fact that what do you think Lego's thought process is on this almost $500 aquarium set? You know, my question is, and I think I've seen it shared, is like, who is actually wanting a large scale Lego aquarium set for $500? I know they did one, a 3-in-1 version of an aquarium, like what, last year or maybe 2 years ago. It must have sold well, but it's retired now. I thought it was kind of an interesting build at the 3-in-1 scale size, the 3-in-1 creator size. I think that one was only like a $30 set or maybe even less. But when it gets up to the $500 range, you know, it's almost like that could have, not that it would have made it any more appealing to me, but part of like the dreams set to include minifigs or something unique to it that you want. But I guess the fish builds and the underwater plant builds are going to appeal to some people, and I'm sure it will. Like, there's a theme for everyone, for sure. There's a theme for everyone when it comes to Lego. So we'll see what happens, but we're also saying, like, if you had that money for a Lego aquarium set for $480, what else could you get? And immediately a ton of sets came up. You could get like a modular and another cool set. And then I saw the Avengers Tower. I'm like, that is another set I would like to have. Martha says, my brother has a lot of Legos. Nice, Martha. Psh. Does he keep them in good shape? Does he build? Maybe he creates his own builds. Very cool. Jake Stop Motion says, someone made a video a while back that you could get the whole real thing for like $200. Oh, Jake Stop Motion, which set is that? That can't be the aquarium. It must be another cool large build. I wouldn't think it'd be one of the UCS sets, but I must have missed one detail there. So yeah, let us know in on that one. Giraffe says, I like the Italian Riviera set. That looks cool. It does look good. I've seen that one built up. It's funny, when I went to the Lego store, they had, again, the display was not that great, but right next to the UCS Death Star, like on the side wall, like right before you walk past the door, they had the Italian Riviera set built up next to it. It was such a weird placement. That had nothing to do with Star Wars. And it it's like a forgotten piece. Like, they had that display. They're like, oh, we moved that over there just to put it away and forgot about it or something. But yeah, that set does look cool. I thought originally that was part of all those modular sets, but I think I was mistaken. And it does look good. I don't know. I think for me, when it comes to those kind of those modular looking builds or something like that, I really like that natural history museum. That's the one I'm looking at. That I got my eye on that one. But if I get a UCS set, then I probably won't be able to. John Powell is here. Psh! Hey, John Powell. Sorry, I just noticed that. Was looking for you around 11 p.m. Here I am. So 11 p.m. is close, and I might have jumped in a little earlier, but you found me. Thanks for joining the live stream, you guys. Jake Stop Motion says hello to everyone as well. Martha, thank you for being here, joining the chat, sharing some Lego questions, and that you guys collect Lego, or your brother does. Very cool. Come back. Join us when you can. Jake Stop Motion says the aquarium. Oh, so the aquarium you can piece together for $200. Even then, would you guys buy it if that's set the way it looks now? would you buy for $200? I guess it really, all it means is that, and it's cool. If someone wants to get that set, that is fine, because we want to support Lego, of course. And if people like getting sets like a $500 aquarium, very cool. The joy of building Lego is why we're here. Brick Therapy. Mayo says people forgot about a lot of sets. It is easy to forget now because Lego, this must be proof that they're flush with cash, right? And why they can be bold and charge crazy amounts of money for certain sets where you're thinking it's, things are way overpriced, such as a $45 battle pack or $1,000 UCS set or something like that with a mediocre gift with purchase. But yeah, the release of sets just does not slow down, and this is where you have to be careful. If you are new into Lego collecting, I found, obviously, when I got into Lego as a grown-up, as an adult, in, the AFOL category with my kids, that your mind just goes wild with so many cool builds like Lord of the Rings. When I got back into Lego with my kids, it was 2018, so all the Marvel sets were coming out, all the movie-related sets of the MCU, and I thought all of them were amazing and thought I would stay away from the Star Wars builds. But then once I saw the Millennium Falcon build from the Han Solo movie, I was like, I have to collect Star Wars now, because that set looks sweet. It looks pretty darn cool, and got that set. And so, then the collecting just totally proliferated. So yeah, and then the modulars, seeing all the modulars, and then when these double insider points come around, or these gift with purchases, you just, of course, it's also tempting. Gotta moderate. But yeah, Lego just keeps releasing sets. The Black Pearl is probably all but forgotten. It's on back order, so maybe not, but that would be a cool set to get. I know that's not the real name. Jake Stop Motion says you can get the real fish and everything for $200. That is just interesting. Again, for the price, would you even buy it then? John Powell says 11 p.m. East Coast time. 11 p.m. East Coast time. Well, not really, because if you were here on time yourself, John Powell, I did start at 11 p.m. East Coast time, or maybe just a little bit after that. John Powell says he meant a real fish tank and real fish for $200. Oh, okay. I thought Jake Stop Motion actually said, though. He said someone made a video a while back that you could get the whole real thing. Oh, okay. I thought the whole Lego version of it, but just parted out. Okay. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. If you're going to get a giant Lego build that looks like a real life aquarium, and and the right scale and size, that's what I said. I think I'd rather just have an aquarium with real fish. But this one, you don't have to take care of the fish, you don't have to feed them, and you don't have to clean the darn thing. So maybe that's cool. But I don't know. If you want a set like that, I assume you'd like to have an aquarium to begin with. Anyway, just a random set, a random set that I think the 3-in-1 version probably satisfied the interest or desire in building something of that theme, an aquarium. The $30 or so, whatever. I still probably just go look for the retired one and get that if I really wanted to build a Lego aquarium. But again, another set to just pay attention to and see how well it sells. The crazy part is, I guess if that one sells really well, and the UCS Death Star, of course, has been pretty popular and sold well, then all we can do is probably just brace for the fact that Lego sets are the norm's going to be, if you want to get a good size build set, you're going to be spending between the $500 and $1,000 range. Crazy. Jake Stop Motion says it's almost 12. I think you mean 12 a.m. Yep, you guys are on the East Coast. And John Powell says, yep, quarter till or 11:45 p.m. on the East Coast. Hey, well, thanks you guys for being here. Joining the live stream. We got, is it 19 likes? Love it. Let's get to 20 likes. I'm moving ever so slowly on this build. Not that it matters because I have a good conversation with you guys about Lego sets, but still building up this set, 75396. This was an $80 set. No way I was going to pay that. Very tempting at a couple points. I saw it on sale. Saw it on sale at Walmart, or at least the price tag had been dropped to $40, but of course the shelf was empty, so it wasn't there. So when this dropped down to 55 on all the other regular retailers, then it seemed like a pretty decent deal. Really like the minifigs that come with this set, so that was kind of part of that was the main part of thinking about this build. And the Sarlacc build's kind of fun to put together here, I will admit. I don't know if I would keep this as a display set or not. If I had the UCS Jabba's barge, then probably would. But there's a lot of good parts in here, pieces in here to part out. Just so many different cool beige, of course, you know, desert color build, but all these slope pieces and everything. And that definitely does look like a pit you don't want to fall into. So I was saying before, it kind of reminded me of one of the first Doctor Strange sets that came out, where that kind of tentacle octopus monster that comes out of the wall. I can't remember what the name of that set is, but one of the first Doctor Strange sets that came out this reminds me of that, just because of the Sarlacc pit having kind of the same look to it with all these tentacle pieces, even though it's not the same theme. And just making sure I got all the right parts here in place. Jake's Top Motion says, what time are you finishing? Don't worry, Jake's Top Motion. If you need to head out, that is fine. You've been here for most of the stream, and I really appreciate that. I try to just do one bag at a time, so I'm almost done, but of course, feel free. This is not compulsory. Just love the fact that you guys can be here for as long as you want, and leave a like, of course. And if you're new to the live stream, please join our Lego community. But yeah, feel free to come and go as you please. And definitely, if you feel so inclined, leave a comment. Join the live stream. Like to talk about Lego. I usually live stream on weekends too. So if the weekday is tough, which I know it can be, weekdays are tough, well, then you'll see my son, because now he's back to joining me on the weekend live streams on Saturdays. So Jake Stop Motion, thanks for being here for most of the live stream. Really appreciate it. And the Sarlacc pit is coming together. Thanks to you guys for being here and part of the discussion, and just kind of bringing up unique topics. How much Lego releases of these crazy price sets that you're like, who would buy that? Would I buy that? Probably not. And what other versions of set like this aquarium have been released before that seem like that's enough of a price I'd pay for an idea like that? Because there was a 3-in-1 creator set of an aquarium that was only in the $30 range, which obviously makes a lot more sense. So, but Lego, they challenge the us to understand how many different people are into Lego and what appeals to them. So it's just interesting. So in terms of themes and sets that are not necessarily new, but I want to I would love to take advantage of this double Insider Point week, but I don't know. There's no way I want to buy a UCS set right now. Jake Stop Motion's off to bed. Mayo says, fighting sleep is why I drink caffeine. Yes, sir. Hopefully, a decent appreciation for the taste of coffee as well. Although I guess that could be caffeine in different forms, Mayo. Hopefully, you know, a nice cup of tea, like English breakfast tea is always nice. Hopefully none of that crazy stuff that, you know, is out there, like well, I don't want to push any brand names, but you know, all those kind of more of soft drink looking type of options that are out there. It's loaded with caffeine and sugar. So hopefully not that. But yeah, what do you think? Have you guys ever done any of those long form live streams, like hours on end? I know some have done these 24-hour live streams. That's crazy. I don't think I could pull one of those off, but definitely would need to hit the caffeine zone for that kind of stuff. You know, maybe if it was like, well, I guess I take that back. You know, if your channel is just, you know, gaining and you are promoting something like a charity, or you know, your channel is just becoming super popular and you want to thank your subscribers, then of course that's a whole nother story. Okay, getting into the tentacle parts of the Sarlacc pit here. So yeah, definitely that must have been a kind of a fun build to design. There's a lot of cool things that you see with Lego nowadays that you're like, they do such a good job with all these builds. Like when I first got into Lego as a kid, it was like, you know, the strictly brick build, but I do love all the different shapes that they've created over the years, especially these slow builds. Here are the minifigures. There's 2 Boba Fett's because I got him from the other build I recently finished, but just showing off what's going on here. I would say this set is definitely worth the discounted price, the $55 range. You know, if you get a little bit lower, actually, that'd be pretty cool too. Awesome. Thanks everyone for the 20 likes. Love it. Shadow Milk Fan is here. Oh man, I'm getting all you guys who are just barely holding out, trying to stay awake. All right, guys. Well, here's some motivation for you here. I'm almost done with bag 4. I'll show it off, and then you can tell me what you think of this set. Was it, aside from the minifigures, because the minifigures are a huge part of why I got this set. You get what? 5 pretty sweet minifigures. You get Chewie, you get Han, you get Luke in different versions. You get Boba Fett. Oh, sorry, you get 6 minifigures. Because I forgot about Nien Nunb, the co-pilot with Lando in the Millennium Falcon later in that movie. But I think I got 2 more. Got the Sarlacc mouth or beak, kind of like a squid mouth. And there you are. All right, they'll show off the mechanics of this. The Sarlacc pit now has, I don't think anything operates the middle part, which is kind of weird. But yeah, now you can do something with the tentacles. That's as fancy as it gets. And Han is all built up now. So there we go. That's bag 1 through 4 of the Desert Skiff Sarlacc pit. Kind of got one piece, or the stand here for all these guys, of course, out of place, but it looks pretty decent. And the skiff hasn't been built yet, so there are a lot of pieces in this. So if you do end up with this set and you don't really want to keep this part of the build together, I think you could actually mod this and probably harvest a lot of the parts from, or a lot of the pieces from this build, and still have the Sarlacc pit. Like you could just keep this core part and then maybe whittle this down, since it just represents sand, and then you could part out a lot of this set for something else. So very cool. Shadow Milk Fan says, I built some Mega Blocks Pokemon. Lost a piece though. Shadow Milk Fan, bringing in the alt builds. Love it. The other alternatives to Lego. Mayo says, I don't like the bitter taste of coffee. I've done multiple 24-hour live streams though. Very cool. Yeah, I was wondering, when you said caffeine, I'm thinking, you know, maybe possibly something else other than coffee. All right, guys. Perfect. Thanks for joining me on the live stream. So, bag 5 tomorrow. And before I sign off, just preview bag 5. We bring in another cool minifig. I don't know how many Star Wars sets you guys own, but you end up with quite a few of these. A lot of Chewbacca's, I feel like. So that's okay. You know, you get a couple Star Wars sets, you are going to get some of the core characters, main characters of Star Wars, and can't complain about that. So plan to live stream again tomorrow, hopefully a little earlier, and catch you guys on the East Coast at a better time. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, everyone.